Alrighty, let's go. So I live in Auckland, which is in the North Island of New Zealand, so we're going to fly for about an hour and a half down to the South Island to Christchurch Airport, which is where our journey begins. Look at that fine vehicle that I will be transporting in. Okay, so our journey begins here in Christchurch. Now Christchurch is in the Canterbury region of the South Island. It is a beautiful city, but it also is a city with quite a lot of damage from the earthquakes that happened a few years ago now. We started out the day by going to the markets by the river, then walked around the city for a while, checking out all the different food places and eating at least 4 different kinds of ice cream throughout the single day. We then went to the beach, watched a surf competition for a while, and basically just hung out and enjoying the views and each other's company. The next day we went to the Botanic Gardens, and then we just had lunch outside, said goodbye to Katie and Caden, and then we headed off to our next destination of Lyttelton. We were actually just driving through Lyttelton to stay the night at a place called Akaroa. It is stunning. We got there in the afternoon and spent the day there looking around. This was our beautiful accommodation. We were right on the water and it was a stunning place to end the day and then wake up the next morning. Then just around the corner is Little Akaroa. As the name suggests, it is much smaller. There's not a lot of touristy things to do here. There's no shops or anything like that. But I mean, if you're in the area, it is beautiful and well worth stopping to have a look. We then made our way to our next accommodation at Lake Tekapo. Now this is one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen in my life. It is really famous for being able to stargaze. Unfortunately, the night we were there, it was actually really cloudy. And the water has minerals in it that make it go this beautiful turquoise blue colour. And so all of those photos that I have on Instagram aren't actually edited to be that blue. The water is that really turquoisey colour of its own, which is quite something to see. After Lake Tekapo, we decided to drive up to Mount Cook, and on the way we stopped and saw these beautiful lakes, which again, how can you not be stunned by them? And then my dad just really trying to ruin my career as a vlogger, but gotta love him, you know. Now I love a visitor centre. I cannot stress this enough. I really enjoy going to them, and the ones throughout New Zealand are so well done, particularly this one. If you're ever there, I highly recommend pop into the visitors centre. Something that is so important when you are visiting places like this in New Zealand is check the weather. Particularly if you're not an experienced tramper or you don't know how to handle conditions, please do check weather before you go up. And guess where you can do that? At the Visitors Centre. Okay, I think I've made my point about the Visitors Centre. So this is Mount Cook. Well, actually that mountain that you can see there right now in the back, that is Mount Cook, and this is the view of it. It is absolutely beautiful. Again, just, can you not, you know? The Clay Cliffs. It was actually an accident to go here. We were driving through and just like thinking of getting some lunch, so I just Googled lunch places and found this. Thank goodness. It was amazing. Definitely a highlight. It was only $5 to go in. I cannot recommend it enough. My sister also went here a few weeks later, and there is outdoor spa pools, which, I mean, if you're ever down here, you should definitely check those out. We didn't have time, but you can. That's why you watch videos, right? To have the best holiday that you can later on. Okay, we've now left the Canterbury region and are in the Otago region. We went to Queenstown mostly just to go to the airport to pick up my sister, who was joining us again. And then we spent the day in Queenstown because it's beautiful and there's so much to do and see, and it's always nice. You could make a whole separate video about Queenstown itself, but as I only spent one day there, I didn't get to go see things like Milford Sound or anything, but if you get to go, you totally should. I put some footage of those bras up on my Instagram and everyone went nuts asking me if they were all mine. No, of course they're not all mine. but it's a feature that you should go see if you're down there. The final place we headed was out to the west coast, and this is the Franz Glacier. Now, I was so excited to see this. Like, I've literally wanted to see this glacier for years, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it was maybe a little bit more than this. I don't know. I don't want to be ungrateful for going. It was definitely interesting to learn about how much smaller the glacier has gotten over the last 100 years or so because of global warming, and hearing the Māori stories too was super interesting. And if you want to learn about that, it is up in my Instagram story if you want to go check that out. Of course, the views are amazing here, so you can't complain really. Then I decided to drag my family on a walk. Now, the South Island is cold and it was raining. So it was cold and raining, but I dragged them up this trig walk anyway. The views were pretty good, but you know, it was raining. Then of course my favourite two Muppets decide to just... They are the view really, aren't they? I mean, at least they're stoked with themselves. Then we headed out to Hokitika and Greymouth. I can't believe I forgot to take any video in Greymouth. How ridiculous. But this is where Katie's boyfriend Caden is from, and his family have a farm out here. So we spent some time on the farm. I am a natural at, you know, cows and looking after the land and things, you know. It's really a skill of mine. We also went and visited the Pancake Rocks, which is what you can see now. They're called Pancake Rocks because of the way the rocks layer up. They kind of look like stacks of pancakes. It's a little bit hard to tell here, but it is very, very impressive and well worth a visit. Other than showing off my natural farming abilities, we kind of just spent this time hanging out together, and then we headed on home through Arthur's Pass and back to Christchurch, which is where we flew from. We were lucky enough to see some of these adorable kea while we were there. These are a native bird and they're so sassy. They absolutely come up to you, rip stuff off your car. They're super cute though. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and maybe feel inspired to come and visit New Zealand, or if you're from New Zealand, to go have a look at somewhere else. I look forward to making some more videos for you soon. Bye!